I still remember the exact vibration of my phone. It happened on a Tuesday afternoon. While I was sitting in my car outside the grocery store, staring at a shopping list that included everything my girlfriend loved. Her favorite coffee. The vanilla creamer she insisted made every morning better. Fresh flowers because she had been stressed at work. I smiled when I saw her name light up my screen. I thought it was going to be another one of her random messages, asking if I could pick up chocolate on the way home. Instead, it was 12 words that changed everything. I'm sorry. This isn't working anymore. Please don't call. I wish you the best. That was it. 3 years together ended in one text message. No explanation. No conversation. No goodbye. Just silence. I called anyway. Straight to voicemail. I texted. Nothing. I drove to her apartment, but she had already moved out. By the end of the week, I learned from a mutual friend that she had transferred to another city for work. She hadn't even told me herself. For months, I replayed every conversation we'd ever had, searching for the moment everything fell apart. Maybe I worked too much. Maybe I didn't listen enough. Maybe love simply wasn't enough. The hardest part wasn't losing her. It was realizing someone you trusted with your whole heart could leave, without giving you the chance to understand why. The next year became the loneliest of my life. Friends kept telling me I'd find someone better. Family reminded me that time heals everything. Neither helped. Healing wasn't something that happened overnight. It happened in tiny moments. Making dinner for one without feeling empty. Watching a movie without checking my phone. Learning that my happiness couldn't depend on someone else's decision to stay. I started volunteering every Saturday at a local food pantry. At first, I only wanted something to distract me. Instead, I found people carrying burdens far heavier than my own. Single parents trying to feed 3 kids. Veterans struggling to rebuild their lives. Older neighbors choosing between medicine and groceries. Listening to their stories changed me. My heartbreak stopped feeling like the center of the universe. Kindness became my therapy. Helping someone else somehow helped me breathe again. One rainy afternoon, an elderly man named Walter couldn't carry his groceries home. I walked him the 6 blocks to his apartment. He smiled and said, "Son, people remember how you treat them on their worst days. Never waste the chance to be kind." Those words stayed with me. Little by little, my life became fuller. Not because I forgot my past. Because I stopped letting it define me. Almost exactly 1 year after that text message, I was making dinner when someone knocked on my front door. I wasn't expecting anyone. When I opened it, my heart nearly stopped. It was her. Emma. She looked nothing like the woman I remembered. Her hair was messy. Her eyes were swollen from crying. Her jacket was soaked from the rain. For a long moment, neither of us spoke. Finally, she whispered, "Can we talk?" Every painful memory rushed back at once. The unanswered calls. The sleepless nights. The questions I'd never been allowed to ask. Part of me wanted to close the door. Another part remembered Walter's words. People remember how you treat them on their worst days. So I stepped aside. "Come in." She quietly thanked me. She sat on my couch, holding a mug of tea with both hands as if it were keeping her together. Minutes passed before she finally looked at me. "I owe you the truth." I didn't interrupt. She took a deep breath. The day I sent that text, I had just left the hospital. I frowned. My younger sister had been diagnosed with an aggressive form of cancer. I felt my anger begin to soften. My parents were falling apart financially. I transferred cities because there was a treatment center there. I knew I'd be working 2 jobs while helping take care of her. She wiped away fresh tears. "I convinced myself you deserved a better life than the one I was about to have." I stared at her in disbelief. "You decided that for me?" "I know. You never even asked." "I was afraid." Her voice cracked. I thought if you stayed, your future would become my burden. I shook my head. Love doesn't work like that. I know that now. She looked around the room. I've spent an entire year regretting that text. I wanted to be angry. Maybe I should have been. Instead, I saw someone carrying guilt that had become almost unbearable. What happened? I quietly asked. She looked down. My sister passed away 3 months ago. The room fell silent. No words could fill that kind of loss. I'm so sorry, I whispered. She nodded. After the funeral, my mom handed me a box. Inside were letters. One of them was addressed to me. Her sister had written it during treatment. Emma handed me the folded letter she'd carried in her purse. My hands trembled as I opened it. The handwriting was shaky. If you're reading this, I probably didn't make it. I need you to stop pushing away the people who love you. I watched him sit beside my hospital bed for hours before you broke up with him. He didn't know I heard him promise you'd never face life alone. Give him the chance to choose. Don't steal that choice from him. I couldn't hold back my tears. Neither could Emma. I was trying to protect everyone, she whispered. But I only ended up hurting everyone. For a long time, we simply sat there. Not as exes. Not as strangers. Just two broken people grieving different losses. She apologized over and over. Not expecting forgiveness. Only wanting me to know the truth. When she stood to leave, I walked her to the door. She looked exhausted. I don't expect another chance, she said. I just couldn't live another day without telling you. She turned to leave. Without thinking, I said, have you eaten today? She stopped. Then quietly shook her head. No. Stay for dinner. She looked surprised. You don't owe me that. No, I replied. I don't. But kindness isn't something we give only to people who never hurt us. She burst into tears again. That night we shared the simplest meal imaginable. Pasta. Bread. Tea. No romantic music. No dramatic reunion. Just honest conversation. For the first time in years, there were no secrets between us. Over the next few months, we occasionally met for coffee. Sometimes we talked about her sister. Sometimes about volunteering. Sometimes about nothing important at all. Trust wasn't magically restored. It had to be rebuilt, one conversation at a time. Some wounds heal slowly. Some scars never disappear. But they stop hurting every day. One Saturday, I invited Emma to help at the food pantry. She hesitated before saying yes. I watched her hand groceries to families who reminded her of everything she'd been through. She smiled for the first time without forcing it. On the drive home, she said something I'll never forget. I spent so much time trying to save everyone by carrying everything alone. I nodded. We all do that sometimes. She looked out the window. I finally understand that accepting help isn't weakness. It's courage. Months later, Walter spotted us stocking shelves together. He grinned. I see you've brought another volunteer. Emma laughed. The boss recruited me. Walter winked. The world always needs more kind people. Whether Emma and I were meant to spend forever together isn't actually the most important part of this story. Life isn't a movie. Not every ending is wrapped in perfect romance. What mattered was something much bigger. Forgiveness didn't erase the past. It freed us from living inside it. Her apology couldn't return the year we lost. My kindness couldn't erase her grief. But compassion gave both of us something we desperately needed. Hope. Sometimes people hurt us because they're cruel. Sometimes they hurt us because they're scared. Knowing the difference doesn't erase the pain, but it changes what we do with it. That text message once felt like the worst day of my life. Looking back, it became the beginning of the person I was meant to become. If my heart hadn't been broken, I never would have walked into that food pantry. I never would have met Walter. I never would have learned that the strongest people aren't those who never suffer. They're the ones who keep choosing kindness after They've been given every reason not to. When someone knocks on your door carrying regret, grief, or shame, you don't always have to let them back into your life. But whenever you can, let humanity answer before bitterness does. Because in a world where people disappear with a text message, kindness remains the one language every heart still understands.